皆さん、こんばんは。エドです。Welcome to Thursday Talk Show Episode 2. Today, I'll be speaking to 4 promising young Malaysians who are pursuing their further studies with Japanese universities and colleges. And if you audience have questions for them, write them in the comment box. Before I welcome them online, here's a short video clipping of our 4 guests.
僕はアメール・シャフィク・ビン・アルミです。アメールと呼んでください。ケダーのアロースターから来ました。来日したのは4月の2019年だった。今は群馬工業高等専門学校で勉強しています。コースは物質工学部です。趣味はアニメを見ること、ゲームすること、歌を聴くことです。それと、毎日の生活といえば、高専は月曜日から金曜日までだいたい8時50分から午後4時までです。寮で住んでます。毎晩、自分で料理作って、週末は買い物したりして、時々カラオケとかどこかで遊んだりすることがあるんです。はい、じゃあ以上です。ありがとうございました。よろしくお願いします。
皆さんはじめまして、リュウ・ジュンヘンと申します。出身はマレーシアのクアラルンプールです。私は今、立命館大学産業社会学部の2回生です。去年、つまり2020年に日本に来て、今2年目です。私は今、京都に住んでいます。今、私の後ろに映っているのは、京都の有名な神社、北の天満宮です。北の天満宮では、学問の神様、つまり勉強の神様が祀られています。なので、入りたい学校に合格したい、難しい試験でいい成果を出したいという人は、ここを訪れると、願いが叶うでしょう。皆さんもぜひ京都に来るチャンスがあればここに来てみてはどうでしょうか。私からは以上です。ありがとうございました。
こんにちは、ママシャヒミホンマです。神戸大学の3年生です。マリンエンジニアリング学科の学生です。神戸に住んでいます。マレーシアのペナンから来ました。私の趣味はファンフィクションの読むことです。これは私の家です。私は先輩の2人と一緒に住んでいます。ほら、ここの猫は私たちの猫です。名前はミャーと呼んでいます。ミャーミャーと言ったらすぐに来ます。ちょっと大きいですね。でも最初にもらったのはもっと大きいです。10キロ以上と思いますから、今はちょっと痩せました。かわいい猫ですね。よろしくお願いします。
皆さんこんにちは、ローレンです。今、文化服装学院でバックデザインの勉強してます。今年21歳になります。じゃあ、私の日本の生活を紹介していきたいと思います。楽しみにしてください。
Ameer-san, Liew-san, Syahir-san, Lawrence-san, welcome to the show. And thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us this evening. My questions to you guys falls roughly into three main areas. Why Japan? Your life in Japan and your future plans. And we are going to spend about roughly 15 minutes or so in each areas. And lastly, and if there's any questions, we'll pick up from the audience. Shall we begin? Ameer, you are doing chemical engineering. Syahir is in marine engineering. Liew is in media sociology, and Laurent in fashion. I would like to ask, why do you do this course not in other countries but in Japan? How did you end up in Japan? And how did you first study the language? And what was your experience? Shall we begin with Ameer-san?
Yes. はい。そうですね。Why Japan? Well, because firstly, there was a chance to go abroad from JPA sponsor, so I took the chance from there. Why? Because I didn't, well, simply because I just wanted to enjoy living in Japan, enjoy sightseeing, everything. I mean, the culture and stuff. So that's why.
Oh, okay. But thank you very much, Ameer. How about Syahir? Oh, Syahir-san. Hi.
Oh, so I first want to study in Japan because I actually in my high school I joined the Japanese dancing club. I think we call that. No, Japanese culture club, and I actually like become one of the high ranking person. So I become a manager, coach, and teacher for the Kohai. And from there, I began to love Japan and its culture. I also met with many other Japanese citizens, such as I forgot their names. So after that, when I graduate from high school, I applied for JPA Mara scholarship and got to AAJ, Abang Asuhan Jepun, centered in University Malaya. So from there, I study and get my preparation school, and then I come to Kobe University in Japan. So yeah, I think that's how I actually got interested in Japan, and I actually love living here right now. Thank you.
Very interesting. You're involved with Japanese culture and Japanese language when you're in high school. Very interesting. Thank you, Syahir. How about Lawrence?
Okay, so why I want to study in Japan is because in my family, my family loved Japan, and then so like we used to travel to Japan, like, okay, not very often, but then after that, I fell in love with Japan. Then in my high school, I got to go to like student exchange to Japan in Shiga, and that's when like I really get to know the culture and like get to communicate with the Japanese. Then I learn, like, I just really like fall in love with Japan, and like I was like, maybe I want to study here next time. So then that's why I chose Japan. Yes, that's all.
I see. Very interesting. Thank you very much. You fall in love with Japan before you start learning Japanese language or
Yes.
start thinking about Japan.
Yes.
Very interesting. Thank you, Lauren. And how about Liewさん、いかがでしょうか？
そうですね。私は今、日本の大学でメディア社会学っていう、ことを今、専門にして今勉強しているんですけれども、
で、そもそもなんで、ま日本では、海外ではなくて日本でこのことについ、この、専門をしているかという、この専攻をしているかというと、私は日本の、コンテンツ産業がとても好きで、コンテンツ産業というのは何かというと、例えばアニメとか、ドラマとか、それとバラエティ番組とか、そういうのが好きで、それを研究したいという、とずっと考えていたので、なので、もちろん、マレーシアにも、メディアを勉強できる、大学がいっぱいありますし、特に、マスメディアコミュニケーション専攻、マスコンを勉強できる大学がいっぱいあると思うんですけれども、ただやはり日本のコンテンツ産業について研究するなら、日本に来た方が一番いいかなと思って、日本を選びました。で、そもそも、なんで日本に、えー行こうと思ったかというと、で、私は小さい頃から、日本のものに囲まれて生きてきました。例えば日本の家電、ホームアプライアンスとか、それこそ日本のアニメとかに、囲まれて、で、ずっと、生きてきたんですけれども、で、高校の頃、将来、つまり私のフューチャーについて、考えたときに、やはり日本に行きたいなという、結論に、ついたので、えっと、で、それで、高校の頃から本気で、日本語を学ぼうと思いました。で、最初は、自分で教科書を買って、自分で勉強するのがほとんどだったんですけれども、つまり独学で日本語を勉強していましたが、ただ、あの、私はちょっと独学があまり得意ではなくて、あの、ペースがとても遅かったです。なので、その後、学校の日本語クラブに入って、で先生のもとで勉強していて、あの、高校を卒業してから、帝京マレーシア日本語学校という、日本語を、専門にする、日本語の専門学校に入った、日本語学校に入ったんですけれども、で、そこで、日本語を勉強しながら、日本の、経済とか、文化とかに、触れるチャンスも、増えていました。もうちょうどその時に、日本の、そういう、例えばアニメとか、バラエティ番組とかをたくさん見るようになったので、今につながりました。以上。
ありがとうございました。とても、深く触れてますよね。日本の文化とか日本のメディア。すごいですね。ありがとうございました。Thank you very much for the answer for the first set of questions. はい。Now, let me ask you about your life in Japan. How was it when you first arrived in Japan? Were you well prepared for it? Maybe you give us some example, some episode of your life, perhaps. And what did you enjoy most and why? And I'm sure there might be some small obstacles here and there. And what were they and how did you overcome it? Yeah? All right. So perhaps, again, maybe we will start with Ameer-san. はい、silakan Ameer-san.
ですね。when I first came to Japan, it was very cold because it was at the beginning of Haru, which is spring, and then I didn't do well since I have like broken Japanese and stuff. So when I first came, my senpai, my senior, took in me from the nearest eki, which is Takasaki Eki, and then they escorted me to the Kosen, and from there we had lunch. We we went kimono at the nearest Aeon. There were a bunch of stuff that I didn't know that I needed, but my senpai, they helped me a lot. So about what I enjoyed most during my studies here, my studies in Japan, is I enjoyed making friends. I entered Engekibu, which is drama club, and I made tons of friends from there. Kohai and also the senpai in there. One of my closest friends, which is a Japanese, he is now doing his Senkoka, which is like the Form 6 of Kosen. And then sometimes he will ask me, ask me if I want to go out eat or karaoke with me. So I was really having fun. So that's it, I guess.
Thank you very much for very interesting, especially when you have senpai around that can help you. All right, it's be very, very helpful. Thank you very much, Ameer-san. How about Syahir-san?
So my first impression when I come in Japan, actually, like when I actually drop from the airplane, it's very cold. I don't have any glove, and suddenly my finger actually feel very painful and cold. So I think that was my first impression, because I think it was negative something actually in Tokyo, in Haneda Airport. So after that, I took the Shinkansen and come to my university, Kobe University. I actually have to live with my senpai for almost 3 weeks before I got to my home, because I actually applied for a dormitory for half a year. So my impression for my university is actually like it's very tiring, because my university is like University Malaya. It's actually built in a mountain. So every day I have to like climb mountain and up down to go to my class. I actually love to walk, and so I actually like, because in Malaysia we don't have many people walking, and then when I come here, I was actually very surprised to see suddenly so many people walking on the sideway and cycling. So am I well prepared for Japan? I think so, because I think I actually have set my mindset to Japanese, so that I actually have learned about their culture a little bit, like put their shoes and arrange the shoes, and then uh, do not eat while walking and something like that. So the next thing is that I enjoy the most of Japan is actually the season. I love the fall season, because I love the colors and the leaf and everything. Actually, when it is fall season, I actually always go out to any koen, taman, to actually see koyo with my friends, or even on my own. My obstacle in Japan is actually like, I think language barrier, I think, is the most challenging for me, especially right now when we have coronavirus. Uh, so every class is actually in online class. So I had to record everything, and then I study it again. Yeah, I think that is my problem right now. Thank you.
Syahir-san, thank you very much. But I think it's not a problem. Maybe it's a plus, because you can record the lecture and then go it again and again. So it's a plus. If it's a live lecture, I don't think you're able to do that. Yeah. Good. How about Lauren-san?
When I When I first arrived in Japan, it was spring 2019, and it was actually quite cold. And at that point of time, even though I studied Japanese for 1 year, my Japanese wasn't really good, and I just couldn't speak any Japanese because I was like really overwhelmed with like to come to Japan. So then, but I'm really thankful that my parents got to came with me and like guide me to my accommodation and stuff like that. And then we get to spend like 1 week or two together before they leave. Then I was really like really sad when they left. Okay, then I wasn't really like prepared. Like I just go with the flow when I went there. Like yeah, if anything happens, then it happens, I think. Okay, so then what did I enjoy most was in Japan. At first, it was really hard to make friends because of the language barrier, but I got to make a lot of other international students, like people from China, mostly from China, and I can speak like Chinese. So thankfully, I got to make friends with them. And then slowly from there, I thought like I wanted to improve my Japanese. So I started speaking to some of the Japanese people. At first, I was quite intimidated by them again because of the language. But then I think if you don't try like to go out and like speak up, then no one will like come and talk to you. So like you should really go up and like try your best to talk to them, and they will talk to you. Okay, so and then what were the obstacles I faced was, yeah, again, language barrier, because I received like a lot of Japanese letters, and I like don't really get what they say, and because it's like all in Japanese, and kanjis are so hard, so it's really difficult for me to understand. And then and next, the culture is a bit different from Malaysia. Like Malaysia is more easy and all, but like Japanese, they're like very like strict on time and all. So then I guess like we have to all like follow the rules quite strictly and all. Yeah. And yeah, that's all, I guess. Thank you.
But Lawrence, can I just ask one more question? There? When you say you face a lot of language barrier, especially even you prepared 1 year before going to Japan. Okay,
Yeah.
how do you overcome this barrier when you're in Japan?
Oh, okay. So it's actually a really funny story. I actually was like, I just really wanted to speak Japanese well, so I can like just go on with my normal life. So I like watched a lot of Japanese like TV shows and like drama, and then like I just pause here and there, and then like I just repeat what they say. Or like when my friends talking in school, then I just listen to what they say. Then it's like, oh, when they say like so nano, then I'll be like, oh, that's how you say it. Then I'll be like, oh, so nano, like that. Yeah.
I see. That's good. A sort of very
And
emotion. Yeah.
yeah, and like try more to speak with like the young Japanese so that you get to learn more of the like like how to say like the slangs they are using. If not, you don't get what they say and all. Yeah.
I see.
I
All
think
right.
that's like quite important.
Good. Thank you, Lawrence. Let's go to Liu-san. Hi, Liu-san は
そうですね。実は私が日本に来たのは、去年の1回目の MCO が始まる前日のことだったんですよ。で、正直に、ロックダウンをやるなんて、考えもしませんでした。なので、十分に準備できませんでしたよね。 もう本当にその前日に、もう家族、my family と一緒に、もう本当にヒヤヒヤし、もう緊張しながら、荷物を片付けたりしましたね。で、その後、友達の何人かと一緒に、日本に来たんですけれども、例えばこのホテルに泊まりましょうとか、で、ここに行くのに、こういう、なんか、交通機関、バスとか新幹線とか使った方がいいよみたいな話は全然していなくて、もう本当に、何も決めていませんでしたし、右も左も全然何もかも分かっていませんでした。なので、最初の頃は本当に、大変でしたが、今は、やっと落ち着いてきて、いました。そうですね。あと、今留学生活についてちょっと話したいんですけれども、一番楽しんでいるのは、やはり日本の方々、特に日本の若者とコミュニケーションをすることです。私はマレーシアにいた頃、プライベートではあまり、人と、日本の方々と、お話しするチャンスがあまり、ありませんでした。特に、日本の若者と、話すことも、できませんでしたよ。日本人の友達がいなかったので。なので、今は積極的に、もう日本の若者と、どんどん話すように、しています。で、特に私は今、ライブラリースタッフという、図書館の、スタッフとして利用者さんをサポートしていくという、ピアサポーターとして、活動していて、で、その中で、やはり他の日本人のスタッフとコミュニケーションを取ったり、実際利用者さんに日本語で対応しなければならないので、もう本当に日本語を、ずっと使っている状況です。なので、それをしていく上で、こういう考え方もありますよという、新しい視点、新しいパースペクティブを得ることができますね。それが一番楽しいことかと思います。で、私に今ある、私が今会っている一番多分難しい点、そうです。一番難しい点は何かというと、やはり新型コロナが、その流行り出してから、もうなかなか外に出ることができないので、もう特に去年に関しては、学校に行けない日も、たくさんありました。なので、もう普通の学校生活を過ごすことができなくて、残念やなと、思う時も結構ありますね。で、それを乗り越えるために何をしているかというと、学校は、オンラインイベントとかをたくさん開催していますし、あと、そのオンラインで他の人とつながる方法もいっぱいあるので、そういうのを積極的に使って、もう、少しでも自分の、大学生活に、何か、意味のある、自分の大学生活で、意味のことを、たくさんしようと思っています。以上です。
リュウさんありがとうございます。やっぱりそうですね。MCO が一番大変ですね。はい。I'm sure that
そうです。
same as Malaysia, MCO, all the students cannot go to the class, cannot go to school. Yeah, they will stay home and follow classes. So in that case, then maybe perhaps you should do it at home rather than go to Japan. Since the classes are all online, the show. Yeah. But it's good that you can do some what they call the arbeito in the library and they're able to mix around with a lot of Japanese people. So same as Lawrence, so you get to interact with a lot of Japanese people, especially young Japanese people ね。とてもいいですね。よかったですね。はい。Okay, let's go to my last question for this, for today. Yeah. All right. Okay, what I like So this is my question before we accept questions from the audience. Okay, I'd like to ask, what are your future plans and why? And how do you prepare for it? Yeah, how are you preparing for it? Yeah. All right. Okay, let's start with Ameer-san. お願いします。Ameer-san, your mic, please.
すみませんでした。はい。そうですね。未来の話ですが、
はい。
Well, in short term, I want to graduate from Kosen and try to apply a university, which is I've already thought about in going to Toyohashi Gika, Gunma Daigaku, and Nagaoka Daigaku. So long term, I mean, I want to use more of my Japanese skills to make more friends and try to, hang out with each other and stuff. It kind of gets lonely if you don't make friends, and I don't know about other people, but I can't go with loneliness. It really brings me down sometimes. So when that happens, I tend to go out for walks, sampo. Sometimes I go to my nearest anime shop and look at all the figurines and stuff. That's what I do, and that's what I do when I get down, I suppose. So why is that? Because I want to finish my degree here. That's the foremost I want to do. How do I prepare for it? I just have to study, I guess. Well, studying is really just one thing, but the other thing is trying to keep your balance in social life, like hanging out with friends, talking to other people, and seek help from your teachers and friends when your studies aren't going well. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Hi, thank you, Ameer-san. Ameer-san, can I just ask one question, that because you are from Kosen, right? So
Yes.
meaning that, do you automatically transfer your credits to university, or how does it? Because I'm sure that a lot of audience may be interested in what is Kosen.
Oh, so Kosen is technically called like a technical school. So once you're there, I mean, for me, I was from for me. I prepped for 2 years in Japan. I mean, not in Japan, in Malaysia for 2 years, and then I took an exam, which is an entry exam for Kosen. So after that, we entered the Kosen starting from third grade, third year, because Kosen have 5 years. So we entered from third year and until 5, we graduate. But the graduation level between Kosen and high school in Japan is from the third year Kosen is the same as first year, no, 中学校から、
はい。
中学校から、えっと、進学すれば、
はい。
その、高専か、
はい。
高専か、高校に入る。 その高専だったら5年間勉強して、
はい。
高校だったら3年間
はい。
と、高専の僕が高専の3年から入ると、高校の3年と同じです。
Coco,
4年
you mean that what you call that senior high school? Is that what you mean?
senior high school in Japan. So from starting from 4th and 5th year, we are the same as because Coco, after they graduate, they have to go to a university starting from year 1. But us Kosen students, we can start entering university from the 3rd year after our 5th year graduation.
I see. So meaning that you will study at university for 2 more years to get a degree. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
なるほど。はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。Thank you very much, Ameer. はい、let's listen to Syahir さん。Syahir さんお願いします。
Okay, so my plan for the future, I think right now I'm studying marine engineering. So my plan for the future after graduating is actually finding some work. I have 2 options, whether to work in Malaysia or Japan. For Japan, I actually have seen like you guys know that I live with my senpai, 2 senpai. So both of my senpais are actually searching for jobs right now. So I'm actually like I've been learning with them on how to make a resume, how to go to interview, how to answer the exam, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to work in Japan because if I actually got a job in Japan, that's usually a 6 months to 1 year of training. So during the training, they will train me for everything related to the job, so that when I actually enter the job industry, enter my career, it's actually like I don't get overwhelmed with new things. This is not actually done in Malaysia, so I think that's the one of the plus of me working in Japan. But yeah, I'm still searching because in Malaysia, I don't know if we have a lot of marine engineering courses, because I'm actually studying to actually work on a ship. So it's actually like very rare job in Malaysia. So yeah, I think I don't have any concrete plan yet. So the other thing that I want to do is actually like in the future, before I graduate, I want to travel to Japan, through all of Japan, because yeah, that's it. I don't have any. No, I don't go to many places yet right now because of work and because of the schools and so on and so forth. So the next thing that I want to do in the future is actually travel to maybe on the northern side, because I want to see the nature there. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Syahir. Sound very interesting. Perhaps maybe after you graduate, you can sail a boat around Japan.
Yes.
It'd be a very nice experience, I think. Yeah, as you say, marine engineering is a very rare course. High. Yeah, and same with senior. I think it'd be very good. You learn a lot from them, especially as you say, how to write a resume, how do you attend interviews and so on. 頑張ってください。
I've watched so many of my senior actually get rejected. So
But then again, every rejection is a lesson learned. You become a much better candidate after every rejection. So tell your senior not to give up. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go to Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence Dozo.
Okay, so my future plans are after I graduate from my school, because I'm majoring in bag design, so I plan to, if I can, I would want to work in like a Japanese company. I'm not so sure if like I can yet, but I would want to work in Japan, and then maybe in the future I would want to open my own brand if I can. Yeah. And how am I preparing it for it is that actually I'm not sure how am I preparing it, but like I'm slowly trying to make and sew my own bags, and then I'm going to try to sell it online soon. So that's how I'm preparing for it, I guess. Yeah, that's all.
Very enterprising. Before you graduate, you will start making your own brand. But may I
I
ask
mean,
one?
just like a small online shop.
But still very
Eh,
enterprising already. You're testing the market, right? But may I know why bags?
why bags?
Mm.
Okay, so because the previous school I went in was like a design school, and I learned fashion business. And then
Mm.
in that school, I learned how to make clothes and all, but I feel like making clothes it's very hard work. Like you have to do everything very precisely and all. And maybe I like to make things, but like not maybe not make clothes. So I have like this like handicraft class, and then
Mm.
we could make bags, we could make anything we like, just like komono.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
then so like I tried making bags and hat, and I really enjoy like sewing and like making bags. So that's how like I found my passion in like bag designing.
I see.
So I was
Okay.
like, okay, I will want to pursue my studies in bag design. So that's why I came to this school. Yeah.
Great. Hi. I hope that you have your brand soon.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Lastly, let's go to Liu さん。はい。よろしくお願いします。
はい。そうですね。私は今、メディア社会学について勉強しているんですけれども、で、その中で特に、広告の研究に、とても興味が、湧いてきました。で、私は今、2回生、つまり、大学2年生なんですけれども、3回生になってから、ゼミナールという、少ない人数で、まあ、同じテーマについて研究するクラスに、入らなければなりません。で、私は広告系の、ゼミナールに入ろうと思って、今、勉強を頑張っています。で、具体的に何を、その目標に向けて何を、しているかというと、今、授業で広告系の、授業だったり、マーケティングについての講義だったりとか、そういうのを、取っていて、で、その勉強を頑張って、そのゼミナールに、所属できたら、いいなと思っています。そうですね。で、将来についてちょっとお話をすると、マレーシアに、日本の企業がたくさんあると思いますね。で、これからも、日本の企業がマレーシアに、お店を出すことも、どんどん増えていくと考えられるので、架け橋まではいかないんですけれども、マレーシアと、そういう、日本の会社、日本の企業に、何か、役に立つことが、できたらいいなと思って、今、まず、勉強を頑張るのが一番大事やなと思いました。以上です。
はい、ありがとうございます。はい、you plan to focus on advertising. It's very interesting. But I believe that now everything, especially advertising, is very being what they call that maybe turned upside down or being influenced or rather affected by COVID-19. Yeah, you could see people buying pattern changes. So it'd be quite interesting to see, especially when you say you want to do more research on advertising. I think that would be a very good field. I feel that it'd be maybe perhaps a new field. I think, yeah, that'd be a quite a bright future. Hi. Thank you very much for all your sharing. Hi, and let's see. Do we have any? Okay. Hi. There's one question someone like to ask. Perhaps maybe we could look at this. Okay. This is from Siti Salasya. She asked that, is it easy to study in Japan as a Muslim, especially if she's talking about food and prayers, all the religious obligation, all right? And then have you had non-halal food? I don't think they would. But anyway, let's have both Ameer and Syahir to answer this. Hai, silakan.
Hai, okay. Nak kata senang ke tak senang, susah juga sebenarnya. Sebab nak cari makanan halal ni, atau sebab kat Jepun ni tak ada chop halal jakim kan. So nak cari yang macam halal tu memang susah lah. Yang rasanya kalau duduk sendiri, kalau tak tahu apa-apa, memang cari makan untuk macam ikan ke atau sayur-sayur macam tu lah, macam pescatarian macam tu. And then sebab saya dah ada senpai dekat sini, so dia orang banyak tolong dalam tunjuk mana makanan yang boleh, mana makanan halal yang kita boleh dapat. Contohnya macam ada satu kedai ni, nama dia Gyomu. Dia jual daging ayam halal, sausage halal, ada chicken nugget yang halal. So lepas tu ada juga dia macam dia importkan makanan Malaysia, macam selalunya keropok-keropok lah, keropok ataupun makanan tin dari Malaysia. And non-halal food yang tu tak ada bang.
Hai. Arigatou gozaimasu. Syahir, you want to add something to what Ameer already spoken? Syahir tak dengar, sorry. Syahir, your mic?
Untuk saya di Kobe, saya agak bernasib baik lah, sebab Kobe ni pusat kira memang ramai orang Muslim. So kalau saya naik kereta api pergi ke dalam 10 km, akan ada masjid dan kedai halal oleh Pak Arab. So satu komplain lah pasal Jepun ni, makanan dia tak ada pedas. Bila tak ada pedas ni, saya macam hidup nak mati lah. Hidup segan mati tak mahu. Alhamdulillah sebab ada pakcik Arab yang jual cabai, saya dapat. Itulah salah satunya dengan rempah ratus. Sebab Jepun dia tak ada macam bunga cengkeh, bunga lawang. Pasal makanan non halal, itu lain cerita lah.
Wakarimashita. Arigatou gozaimashita. Let's take one more question. This is a very interesting question. Maybe perhaps some of you can answer. She was from Lynn. She said that she asked, what is the most culture shock that you experienced in Japan and why? Anyone would like to share this?
Okay, I got one.
Hi.
Oh, okay, you can go first.
It's okay, Lauren can start, yes.
Lauren go first.
Okay, so I'm not sure if like it's a culture thing, but in Japan, a lot of people like to train. Like after work, they will have like nomikais and all. And so like in the train, there's always like sarariman on the train. And then like if you like, cause they drink a lot, and then when they drink a lot, they just like sleep on the train or they pee on the train. Yeah, like they do like all sort of stuff. So like the first time I was in Japan and I saw that, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this in Malaysia before. Like in Japan, like they just sleep in the train, like sleep at the whole bench.
Yeah, like people like naked on the train and stuff like that. Yeah, I was really shocked. Yeah, that's all.
But I think that's a very rare occasion. Because I've been to
Actually,
Japan for quite some time, but I've not seen this when I was
no,
there. Perhaps
it
maybe
happens almost every day. Like
you do.
people,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Mm.
I see it
Eh,
quite often.
Hi. Okay, this is only Lawrence experience, not everybody experience. How about the rest? We only have about a few more minutes left. Hi, silakan.
Okay, so ni nak kata culture shock boleh kata juga sebab first time masuk belajar dekat kelas, diorang macam senyap je, memang semua senyap. Kan senyap tu macam semua faham tau, tapi bila lepas kelas tanya diorang, faham tak dok? Apa benda tak faham apa-apa. even sensei yang mengajar tu dia orang makan macam ichiji teki ni macam tanyalah wakarimashita ka, and then semua orang akan senyap. Of course me being someone that haven't learned something, I mean semong another subject in Japan, I won't understand completely, but on some level I could understand. And I don't know if it's rude or what, but sometimes the students, my friends, they come to late at class and they come from the back door of the class and they just did it without noticing the sensei. I mean, if you were in Malaysia and you didn't notice the sensei for coming up late, you will be scolded, or worse, you cannot you cannot come into the class.
そうですね。はい、OK、ありがとうございました。Now, Liew, there's one question on RITSUMEIKAN. Would you like to take?
Sure. Sorry, please excuse for my bad English. So I wouldn't say it's easy to get your scholarship, but since I'm majoring in media sociology, so it's something I'm really interested about. So I tend to work hard on my on my everyday like schoolwork or even assignments or something. So maybe because of that, I actually got two consecutive years of free tuition fees. So which means that this is my second year without paying any school fees, and also I'm really honored to also get the JASO scholarship from the Japan government for also 2 consecutive years too. So which means that in conclusion, maybe it depends on the depends on the what you study, but as long as you are interested in that and as long as you try not to slack off during your during your classes or during not passing out your like assignments or something, then I think that you will have a very high rate, a very high chance to get your scholarship. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much for your advice, Liu-san. Hi, sorry, because I think we have not much time left, okay? Now, before we wrap up the show, may I ask each of you to share a Japanese word or phrase that you like most or influenced you a lot? And perhaps tell us why. Yeah? All right. Let's see. Shall we start with Ameer-san?
So what you're seeing in the screen is Kampeki o Mizasu yori mazu owaraseru. So what it means is done is better than perfect. So this phrase, should I say, is really close to me since perfection is something of a trait to me. I don't know. I mean, it's something that held close to me until I started I started studying in Japan. So I mean, there are some times when you get down and sometimes you feel unhappy. But I remember the things that before coming to Japan is I tend to try and work hard for completing my tasks or anything that is related to studying. And with that, uh, I succeeded, Alhamdulillah, in coming to Japan. So perfection is sometimes a good thing and sometimes can be a bad thing. So it's better to complete your task or homework or whatever you're doing in life. And that's it. Thank you.
はい、ありがとうございます。Very, very good advice ね。はい、let's move on to Syahir さん。
So what you're seeing on screen is a kanji for kokorozashi. This means semangat. Semangat dan determination. Saya pilih kokorozashi sebab ini adalah macam cerita lama lah. I have my sensei during my preparation school. He is actually like quite eccentric sensei. Every day he will ask me like, "Kokoro ga tsuyo hito!" Hi. So everyone will always say, he will always say every day, "Kokoro ga tsuyo hito." Orang yang hati kuat, orang yang semangat, angkat tangan. Dia akan selalu cakap macam tu dan daripada situ saya macam bersemangat. Daripada situ saya dapat semangat dan kokorozashi ni juga adalah slogan bagi kelas saya semasa di AJ di mana sensei itu dia sewaktu mengajar dia akan sentiasa membuka buku bahasa Inggeris untuk dia nak jawab TOEIC. So daripada situ saya macam wow, you are very hardworking and you want to study the TOEIC even though you got like maybe less than 50% during that time. And right now, I think last time I watched is maybe last week on his Facebook. He actually got like 900 on TOEIC. I was like, so yeah, I got from the kokorozashi. Thank you.
はい、なるほど。ありがとうございました。Very interesting ね。心強いですね。はい、OK。Let's move on to Lauren.
Okay, so my favorite like word is nen, and the meaning of it is feeling and thought. And why I chose this kanji is because it's quite similar to Syahir's, but it's a bit different as well. The bottom kanji, there's like kokoro in it, and it's heart. So I feel like if you don't put your heart in your work won't turn out good. And I feel like putting your heart in, it shows your effort, and it just shows like how well you did your work when like you hand it up, or like in whatever thing you do. I think you should just pour your heart in and do your best for the work, so it shows your effort. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
なるほどね。はい。Putting all your hearts into it ね。はい。And lastly, はい、リュウさんお願いします。
はい。そうですね。私が紹介したいのは、我は我、人は人なり、猫は猫という、ことわざではないんですけども、名言です。私は、犬派なので、だから、これはもちろん私が言った言葉ではありません。村上春樹さんという、日本の有名な作家さんが言いましたが、で、村上さんは、ラジオで、このことについて、話したんですけれども、ただ、その詳しい意味とか、その、 それについては全然話していませんでした。ただ、文字、まあ、これを見て、こういう意味じゃないかなと思ったのは、人はそれぞれ違うので、なので、他の人に無理やり、合わせる必要がないという意味なのではないかなと思いました。日本語を勉強する、日本に留学するという、道に進む人というのは、周りにあまりいないかもしれませんね。ただ、もしそれが本当に自分のやりたいことでしたら、自分の道を信じて、そのまま頑張って歩んでもいいんじゃないかなと思いますね。要するに、他の人に無理やり、合わせなくてもいいと思って、私も実際、この名言を、そうですね、常に心の中に刻んで、頑張っています。なので、もし皆さんも、同じ、考えを持ってもらえたらいいなと思います。以上です。
はい、ありがとうございました。Very, very interesting of the four of your advice ね。はい。Putting all your hearts into it, having semangat, all right, and then finish whatever you do rather than seek for perfection, and be yourself as what Liew-san says ね。はい。This is very important. I think these are very, very important sayings that that it will make you successful, especially when you're in a foreign country, I think. That's very, very enlightening. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much, everyone. ね。はい。ね。And I wish you all the best in your studies. Yeah. はい。Okay. Now, we are coming to the end of the show now. Okay. Well, 皆さん。Firstly, I would like to thank Pusat Bahasa Tokyo, Malaysia, for their kind assistance in today's interview. Yeah. And this interview will be replayed next Thursday, July 15 at 8:30 p.m. Malaysian time. Okay. And there's also a few announcements. This week, we shall have the Kanji Map Workshop and Yonkoma Shibai. For those who have signed up for them, you should have received the notification emails by now. So if you don't, maybe perhaps you have checked your spam mailbox just in case. And next week, we shall have the Nihongo Rap Workshop. And for the kanji, for the kanji map poster competition, we will review the kanji to be used for that competition on Monday, July the 12th, on JLfest website. So check it out. And don't forget, next week, we have the closing date for the kanji map poster competition, the Nippon Quiz Bento Challenge competition. Yeah. So I see you all next week. それでは次回お会いましょう。Thank you very much.